Hey guys, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to rFactor for something a little bit different. Now I like to start with videos of that something a little bit different line, but I mean it this time. We're going to be starting a Throwback Thursday series, and this is going to be the first video in that series. We're going to be driving the Mercedes W196, otherwise known as the Mercedes F1 car from 1955, as driven by Sterling Moss and Juan Manuel Fangio. Now, the thing that sort of inspired me to do this was the last video I did in rFactor 2, which was the, well at this point anyway, the F1, the BT20, the Brabham at Historic Monaco. That was a lot of fun, had a good reception to it, people seemed to enjoy it, and I enjoyed it, which is sort of the main thing what I look for when making videos. So what we're going to be doing is sort of exploring older cars, older tracks as the series goes on. Maybe at user request, maybe not, we'll see, but it's going to be a lot of fun and I want to get into it straight away. So we're driving the Sterling Moss version of this car. He actually won this race in real life, so let's get in it and try and replicate that result, shall we? F1 Challenge style start there, I love that. Reminds me of the series that I abandoned, sort of. Maybe we'll go back to that one day, who knows. But we won't talk about it now. We're looking at Union Jack on the left there, waiting for the guy there to bring it down into first gear. And away we go. Try not to stall off the grid there, trying to minimise wheel spin, and we just can't get away. Ooh, wheel spin touching us, making us touch the wall there. We get away a bit though, luckily enough. Up into fourth gear. We're going to have a look up the inside here. A little bit slow through the first corner, so we won't take the mitt too much, but we aren't going to get held up too much either. Now we're sort of boxed in. Oh, there's no way out. Come on. AI hit me from behind as well. No way out. Come on, go. Smashing second gear. More of a frustrating thing there as we finally get going again. So it's really nice to find a version of Aintree that came from 1955, sort of environment's fixed up with the car we're driving. So we the biggest plane I've ever done, coming out to the right hander there and braking again down hard, locking up a little bit, but we're okay. Please let me through. Now my knowledge of F1 from this era is pretty bad, to be honest, and that's something that makes me really sad because I'm really enjoying driving this car at the moment. It's a mod that's been in rFactor for a long time, and I mean a long time. It's I think 2007, 2008 this mod came out. I'm running with updated sound mod, as you can probably hear if you've driven this mod before. You might have noticed that as we get again stuck in, we're having to back out of that down to first gear because there's nowhere for us to go. We'll try and get out of the corner before these two though. Coming up now to a sweeping right hander. Oh, you can take this faster than you can, so we're going to go down to third gear, brake hard, huck inside line, hope the car slows down. The back end not really wanting to comply as we understeer, don't want to touch the grass. Bad exit through there, but we get through and we're still going. Now onto the back straight. Now this is where you really open up the engine in this thing. We got up to 145 miles an hour going down this little straight here, which is ridiculous in a car with a wooden steering wheel. And this is probably the most fun part of the track for me. You brake hard in a straight line down the fourth gear, throw the car into the left, try and make sure it doesn't go up to the right. There we just touch the grass, and then eke it out to the left, and look how much time we're getting the guys in front. That's how you do that. AI is set to 106% as I mess up the last corner royally. So when they're not together, they're pretty good, but when they're together they do get bunched up and do silly things like you saw at the first corner. This lap's going to be a 10-lap race, a lot short on the real race from my knowledge, as we see the flux capacitor safety car there that's travelled back from the future to come watch this race. We had that in the Clio race. Someone commented that of the Clio. The safety car Clio had a flux capacitor. That's Sterling Moss car, number 12 car is the car we're in. So we are overtaking ourselves. That's how fast we are around here. I've got to say, for an old modern rFactor, it isn't bad at all. It really has a lot of feel to it. It pretty much handles how you expect it to, you know, it's got a lot of straight line poke, but hasn't quite got the performance in the corners, a lot of body roll, a lot of understeers you saw there. But once you sort of learn how to drive it, you learn the style, it's very rewarding, I must say. The brakes are better than you expect them to be as well, but you can't take the mick with them. You have to brake reasonably early for a lot of these corners. Now obviously nothing on the modern F1 car, but a lot more soul behind it. This is actually, I believe, the last race that the Mercedes F1 car ever ran this era before it this reiteration back in 2010, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was this year in 1955 that there was the Le Mans disaster where one of the Mercedes cars ended up in a grandstand and killed a lot of people. I think it was around 20 or 30 people, maybe even more than that. And Mercedes sort of just pulled out of the sport. They didn't want anything to do with motorsport anymore, pulled out, and only came back as a factory outfit in F1, like I said, back in 2010. So it's something that they lived with for a long time. But it is a real shame because this car is fantastic fun to drive in the sim. I would have loved to see how they look. I love the look of it as well. That big, wide, open intake at the front. You aren't going to get to see in the video, unfortunately, unless someone spins in front of us. Hopefully they won't. Getting back up to speed again now. I do love the way the sound mod has worked. The sound. It sounds very raw. Now, first corner. See the house in the distance there. Very much typical UK housing of that era. Watching out for that wall on the outside, we let the car just sort of run out to the left. Now braking hard down into second gear. Very difficult one this. You always want to clip that sort of brick wall on the inside there, and it is brick. Very interesting version of curbing there. And oh look, the guys in front are getting held up by each other, which is good for us. Maybe we can make something work there. That time around here is about 2 minutes and 4 seconds or so for me anyway. I'm sure people will be able to go faster around here. I've not really done a full bore perfect lap, but 2:04 is about an average. So it should be around a 20-minute video or so. Oh, I just can't get the car working out of the slower corners. It's so tempting to smash that throttle and ride out with the oversteer, but it is slow. Down the second gear, and you almost want to snag first, but don't do that. It is it's not a good thing to do indeed. There you go. Head is there on the outside to capture cars, I think, if they go off. You can see why this circuit was closed. Very much indicative of the times of F1. Oh, I actually got really confused because today is the first day I've ever driven Aintree. I've driven a couple of the older tracks, you know. I've driven Crystal Palace and the older version of Zandvoort and stuff like that, and very old Silverstone as well. But it's the first time I ever drove Aintree, and I got lost coming down here. I went off right there a couple of times. I got lost here the first lap. You meant to go through chicane and then take this right here. I went down there, and down there it's just you keep going and eventually fall off the map, which is quite amusing. But braking down the last corner, getting the car turned in, very lazy at the front, and then smooth on the throttle on the exit, and pass the grandstands one more time. In the real race, the Mercedes actually got a 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's definitely going to happen in this race, luckily. So we'll be replicating the real race in that regard. But apart from that, I'm not quite sure what else we're going to get. Oh, I love the drift through there. Oh, very slow cars. Are we lapping people? We're going to take advantage of that, are we? No, we're going to come out of it a little bit. I think some of the talent files for some of the other AI drivers are a lot worse, and some of the others, I'm going to assume that Fangio and Moss are the faster guys in here, and the rest are not. You have to forgive me for not knowing the other names of the other guys. I mean, again, like I said, this isn't my era of F1. A 14 car, very slow there. We're going to try and put it around the outside. He struggles on the inside there. Just try to put it around, but the understeer there was so great. We're actually losing traction at the front, but we're away again. And then again, another 14 car, so that talent file obviously needs a bit of tweaking. I did do a couple of AI tweaks before I got going today, but they haven't worked the way I want them to. Tweaking AI in rFactor is a very experimental process. I think that 14 car just got punted by another one. I just saw it go to the right in my mirror. All I've got is mirrors. That's a very... I can hear a car next to me. There it is. I can see it now. Oh, he breaks harder than I would there. We're going to the back of him. Luckily for us, damage is off. For him though, probably not. Come on. We'll whack him my bum at him, no thank you. Oh, but now he's going to have... We'll go defensive. Still defensive. Come on, Mercedes. Who breaks later? It's going to be me. Oh, already chucking the car for the corner. Very fun getting it right, but it's always a little bit on edge. This race is heating up. I got to say a big thank you to Mr. Bailey, who gave me the idea for doing the Throwback Thursday thing. It's a lot of fun driving the other cars. It's really nice getting getting into the history of motorsport and the sport you love. F1 is a discipline that I've loved for a long time, and nowadays it's lost its way a little bit, but going back to this sort of thing and driving and learning about it is the most fun thing, because up until like I've never driven Aintree before, but now I know Aintree. I know the history behind the circuit. I know, well, a little bit of it anyway. I know the result of real life racing. I didn't know that this morning when I woke up, and now I know it now, and that is what the aim of this series is, sort of to learn, to have fun with it, and just appreciate the older cars as I lock up and touch the guy in front. Sorry dude, around the outside we go. Whatever happens, we're going to have cars wherever we go. Oh god, that 8 car's slow. We've got stuff there. Yeah, I need to learn to overtake. There it does so. So it's going to be inside. We're going to go up the inside as well. Just going to... Oh, we get contact from the guy behind. Someone else wanted to come through very badly, apparently. Into third gear. It seems that the black lettered cars are the ones that are slow around here. So we use the swag overtake. Oh! Oh! That's how you do that! Oh, swag engaged. Oh, from a mile back there, overtaking that. Seems to be the black lettered cars are the slowest around here, so that's good for us to know. Oh, okay. Big opposite lock there before we smash it down the straight again. Now, traditionally, you wouldn't race the car this hard throughout, of course. You would be a little bit kinder with it, but we are on a road in a sim, so we can sort of get away with it. Just taking a bit of grass there, a little bit cheeky. Oh, okay, getting a bit too enthusiastic with the throttle there. I'm getting too late on the brakes and locked up and went off. See, it's very easy to overcook it in this car. I love the sound it makes when you change gears, like a punch. Pits on the right there. If we had an issue, we just pull in there and they sort it out for us, but hopefully we won't need to do that in this race. Again, braking hard for the first corner. Trying to touch the inside line, then we get on the full throttle. Balancing the oversteer. Oh, perfect. Okay, nice and easy. Almost touching that wall on the inside there and then letting it run to the outside. Just a wheel in the grass. Not quite what we wanted, but we're still going. I'm not quite sure what position we're in. I might think we're in the top 5 or so. But it's sort of hard to gauge. This is where I wish that rFactor had, and rFactor 2 had those sort of GPL style boards that came out and told me where I was, a lap ago. Actually, I've not really played much at all really, is GPL. I do have a disc copy of it somewhere. Maybe that'd be something interesting to see. Let me let you know, guys, if you're interested in seeing that. If you're interested in seeing some GPL on the channel, maybe we'll see if we can get that set up and recorded. I know it's notoriously hard to get going from what I've heard, but it might be worth it if you guys are interested. And obviously, I'd like to try new things as well. So, I'm just trying to hit my brake marker there in my mind where it is. You have to sort of do it by feel a little bit, and we understeer a lot. We're going to go off. And now we smash the throttle to sort of make up for that discretion. You can see cars in the distance. Maybe we'll be able to catch him up with our very aggressive last chicane. Again, smashing it as we hit that 8,000 RPM. I think it's about 8,200 is where the red line is in this car, so getting very close to it now. As we push down to 4th gear. Chuck it at that inside. See, we're getting a bit too over exuberant now. Oh, there you go. Brake a bit earlier off this corner than the last time around. Using the throttle to match the ref on the downshift. And again for another lap. It's just a joy to drive this thing, it really is. I've been doing it all morning and I couldn't resist to record the video now. 4th gear. Nice and steady. Aim for the photographer. Let it drift out, not as fast as last lap, but we are gaining on cars in front, no doubt held up by that back marker there. I think we're probably going to come around to that. Oh, just almost making that right, just touching the inside wall there. I almost wish I had the wheel that Mr. Niels Huskenveld has. 14 car, very slow through, so we'll go around the outside, thank you very much. I'll try and remember to link you to the video. It's just a D-type video around Goodwood, and he has this big old wooden wheel and it looks fantastic, and I would love to have that. I'm using my stock rim at the moment for the T500 because that's the biggest rim that I own. Still not quite enough to replicate the size of this thing. Look how slow these cars are. I wish I could get rid of them by selectiveness, but I can't. And we're powering through again. Maybe replicating the slower cars in F1, you never know. There you go, we're doing our best. Looks like he's got a bad case of the kangaroo fuel, as we mess up the corner completely trying to avoid him. Come on, Mercedes, let's do it. Oh, I love this corner coming up. I go around the straight and I'm just looking forward to this corner coming up. I love getting it right. Let's try and do it right this time. We were a bit fast last time, so we'll brake hard at that yellow board there. Chuck it to the left. Oh, we didn't get the slide. We needed the slide. Sliding the way out. And just after we've collected it all up, we have to brake hard for the last corner. And we get it a bit wrong. I think we're going to go round. No, we're okay. First gear. And the wheel's spinning behind us. Power on this is so raw, it's brilliant, but it's everywhere. Up into 5th gear once again. Braking marker. 4th gear. Throw it in. Let the back end slide. Be nice with it. Aim for that poor photographer. And then power. Straighten it up and let it go. You carry so much speed into this corner that you have to just scrub it all off. It's a late apex and I keep missing it. Another road there you can get lost down quite easily if you're not careful. I'm sort of hoping the back markers hold up the guys in front because I know I'm not in the lead. And this is very much what an F1 race would be like this sort of time. It would be very lonely unless you're racing against your teammate. The difference between the cars was quite something, especially the Mercedes when they were driving. I mean, I think in this race, the real life race, only 9 cars finished out of a 20 car starting grid. Our last finisher being 10 laps down. I think that was a Van Wall from memory anyway. It shows you how extremely quick the Mercedes were. The thing is, between Moss and Fangio, I think the gap was something like 2 seconds or point. I think it's either 2 seconds or 0.2 of a second. I think it was 2 seconds. So, you know, between the two cars at the top, it was very close. But everywhere else, and every car that wasn't a Mercedes was just getting completely wrecked. I'm trying 4th gear through there. I think we need to be higher in the revs. So that's not really doing us much good. Gives a little bit of time now to get back into our composure. Just a little bit of a brake and snatching the brake, 4th gear, getting the car sideways early this time. Carrying it and on the throttle, full throttle, full throttle, full throttle. Braking very hard, a lot earlier than before. It proves to be a lot better for us, taking that line through there. Eking it out to the edge. Oh, I can't stop the rear tyres from spinning up. Very warm at the back now, no doubt. We are on the bias by tyre, so they do last the distance, but they do get hot if you abuse them. And we have been doing a lot of power sliding, so maybe the abuse is starting to take hold a little bit. Apparently there's a version of this track for rFactor 2 as well, which I would love to try at some point. But unfortunately this mod is not for rFactor 2. Although I did ask... I sent rFactor 2 a little tweet today being like, hey, come on guys, get the 55 series in the season in your sim. And they said that they actually have the license for the W196 and the W196S, which I believe is maybe the Monza version of the car, which is more streamlined. But it's not very high to do in their list of priorities, which is a shame, but it would be really cool to see. We're actually going to run out of fuel. We've got our fuel light coming on. I did put fuel in this thing is thirsty. Why do I always run out of fuel in these videos? Down to 2nd gear, nice and easy. We must be approaching the end of the race now. I think we've got a couple of laps left. Maybe we'll try and bring it to the end. Fourth gear early, and then 5th gear. Taking fuel would be a disaster for us, so we don't want to be doing that. To 4th gear. Oh, nice and slow now. Early 5th. Try and eke out another lap, shall we? I think it will be the next lap or lap after that will be the end of the race. So we're going to come off the throttle a bit now and try and sneak up the speed through the corners. We'll stay in 5th gear. And this is much more like how this car will be driven. A lot more chilled out, especially the gap at the front. We're going to 3rd early. Don't use that power. Up into 4th and 5th nice and early. 1 lap to go. We should be able to make it hopefully on the fuel. Fingers crossed anyway. It's going to be very tight, I think. Brilliant. I love a bit of drama, me. I couldn't have set this up if I tried, could I? Into 5th gear. Hoping not to hear that spluttering, which sort of tells us that we are screwed. Third early again, just short shifting every gear. Using that low down power. Car in front slowed down by one of the back markers, maybe a chance for us to still make a position at the end. So we get loose, we're trying to get alongside, so we have to spit more power. There you go. That wasn't a splutter, that was me on the throttle. I'm hoping it wasn't anyway. On the throttle again. Second gear. I don't think we've had to catch the guy in front because we need to be on full throttle down straight for that. I don't think we've got enough to get to the end. Do that, although maybe we should just go for it. Maybe we should. This is where I'd like to have Twitch chat up and tell what to do. Oh, he's gonna get held up. We've got to go for it now. We are required to, by law, to go for it. Alright, let's go. Screw the fuel. We'll roll if we have to. Another lap car. Will he get in the way? That's the question. He's gonna get in my way, I think. 5th gear. We're gonna chuck out the inside. Still got power, still got fuel. Come on! Oh no! The Oscar strats didn't pay off. Oh, we nearly made it though. We tried our best and we take the checkered flag. With very little fuel remaining. I've got to know how much fuel we had. I've got to know. One of these buttons does it, doesn't it? Oh, I've not got the scroll on, so I have. There we are. We had about enough for another lap, so we could have pushed a bit early and caught him. But guys, that was awesome fun. I really enjoyed that. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you really enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe for future Throwback Thursday episodes. I'll put the link to the mod and whatnot in the description. There's another Mercedes roars past us. Brilliant. So you guys can go enjoy it. rFactor 1, still good for some things, definitely. Thanks again for watching, guys, and have an awesome day. Take care.